Hey, everybody. Welcome back again to Austin Sports Weekend with Austin again here himself. We are going to talk some college football. We are down to the nitty gritty. But before we do, thanks again to SevereTV.com.
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by Severe. And Autographs Plus. Thanks again for Autographs Plus hooking us up here. Got a couple signed helmets on front here. But we need to recap week 11 here. And then we are already into week 12. November is almost over, man.
Oh man.
No, it's almost over. But unfortunately, we have to talk about a couple games here. But let's go ahead and jump into week 11 Thursday. There was actually a ranked Thursday night game. We had Virginia Louisville. Louisville won by 7. Louisville again. I don't know. Is Louisville overachieving, or do you think they're really that good?
Well, time will tell in a couple of weeks if they keep winning.
Yeah, they do. They won.
This is a good season for them.
Oh, this is Nobody thought that they would be 9-1 at this point, and they've beat Notre Dame, they've beat Duke, they've beat Virginia Tech, but they've got Miami here next, and then Kentucky after that. So they've got a couple tough games coming up here, and then they'll have probably the ACC championship game
against Florida State.
So that will really tell what kind of team we got. But they won by 7 over Virginia. Virginia was a really bad team at the first year. That's really started to. I mean, they were at least respectful.
Showing a pulse, if you know what I mean.
Showing a pulse, yeah. Let's jump into the Saturday games. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. It was number 13 Tennessee at number 14 Missouri.
This was a beatdown.
Missouri it was a complete.
I'm not gonna excuse a performance like that.
I think they all lost their watches, and the team didn't come in until like halfway through the third quarter or something. They did not show up.
It reminded me of Jason Garrett. For those who watch the Dallas Cowboys,
yeah.
Josh Heupel pulled a Jason Garrett.
It felt Butch Jones-ish, didn't it? It was just like, where's our team at?
What
know, happened?
I have this special '98 jersey. It's a nice special occasion. It's got the Smoky Gray on it.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were lost in the Smoky Mountains before they even got to
Missouri. It seemed like 2008, not 98. And honestly, I don't blame the players, because that's the very same players that have been looking good the past few games. This is coaching, mood. You have to call out coaching here.
I am not going to hesitate to criticize these coaches.
We've had injuries this year, and more injuries and more injuries.
But that doesn't excuse the offense for only putting up
7 points. No, that is the lowest points that Heupel has put up as the Tennessee head coach. The lowest.
I can blame
the lowest was last year against Georgia at 13.
I'm going to put some blame on Heupel here too, because he got outcoached by Drinkwitz.
He did get outcoached, and the entire team got outcoached.
Tim Banks got absolutely shredded up by Cody Schrader.
Yeah,
made him look like a Heisman candidate running back with 300 plus scrimmage yards.
Yeah, and we were was supposed to be a very good run defense, and
he tore us apart.
Missouri was like 108th and giving up yards in between the tackles, and we rushed for 50 yards. So yeah, something
just complete underperformance.
Completely underperformance. And honestly, I'm just going to throw it. I'm sort of worried about losing Golish more now. I
was worried from the beginning. Know me, I have a smell. I have a itch for finding bad coordinators.
Yes, you do. You do.
I have an itch. I can smell a little bit of something from Hal's.
Something's not right here. The offense. And again, we're not saying that we've got the same talent that we did last year, because we don't. I'm not saying, that this is the team from last year, because it ain't.
Last year's team would probably.
Oh, last year's team would beat us by 30. But still, though, to go on the roads and look that bad, something is not right, because there's talent on this team. There's more than 7 points of talent on this team.
I kind of want Heupel to, take charge and be more of a. I'm not going to criticize his leadership.
No. He's still a fantastic coach, and it's just a bad spot right now.
But I will give credit to Missouri while we're at it.
They're actually a really good team. We knew they would be tough the way they played Georgia the week before.
But I didn't expect
them to. And again, I'm giving Missouri credit because they scored 36 points. They're good, but I'm still going to say Tennessee should have scored more than 7.
because Tennessee just
I mean,
didn't show up.
it should have been a 30-27 game if we're going to lose. That's what the score should have been, not 36-7. So
But
we just hope that
moves
things get better.
forward. Missouri moves forward, and they're looking really good. And we got a taste of how good Missouri could be.
Now again, we've Tennessee went through a stretch there from 2008 to 2021, where 13 years there where we probably didn't have. We had 2 9-win seasons out of all those years. So I'm voicing criticism, but I'm also very happy with the situation that Tennessee is in. I do think Heupel's a wonderful coach, and we've got some fantastic players. Love all the players that we've got. I just think maybe
The coaching is probably not adequate.
the coaching is letting the team and the players down a little bit right now. But Tennessee's got a chance to come out, play in a couple more games. They got a chance to still have a 9 or 10 win season this year, which is fantastic because 9 wins was the best we had before Heupel get here. And now we're saying, maybe we'll drop down to 9. So again, I don't want to be a
stickler,
a crybaby about it. We just love our team so much. We want them to win as much as we can.
I mean, for heaven's sake, we got enough of that already over here.
Yeah. Let's jump into the rest of them. We had Michigan at Penn State, and that was the lock of the year.
We know what we got to do when we see Penn State.
Big game,
James.
Penn State cannot beat Michigan or Ohio State. That's a guarantee every single year. He is the only head coach who could be the head coach of Vanderbilt and go 9-3 and go to the Big Ten, and the best he can do is 10-2.
Should have stayed at Vanderbilt.
He was a king at Vanderbilt, and then at Penn State, now Penn State's a good team. But they just cannot beat Michigan
They're
or
not a
Ohio
big
State.
dog. They're always the little dog.
Yeah, they're the little dog of the conference.
It was so demoralizing that they fired their offensive coordinator. They canned him after the game.
The line was 4.5, and that was the easiest thing that could have ever been picked.
Even without Harbaugh, Michigan still pounds them.
And so speaking of Harbaugh, he did accept his 3-game suspension at this time, and he will not be coaching the last 2 regular season games at Michigan. And from what we understand, the Big Ten will turn off their investigation with him accepting
the penalty.
So it's over. It's behind us. And on
Pretty
to the
uneventfully.
next. Pretty uneventful, and the fireworks went. But Michigan will have to make it through Ohio State without Harbaugh on the sidelines. He may be in somebody's ear in the second row, passing word down to the sideline. I don't know, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but but Michigan took care of Penn State. We had Alabama, Kentucky.
This reminded me of an old school Alabama beatdown from my childhood years where, Alabama was going to absolutely drub somebody into the ground.
At the beginning of the year, everybody thought, well, maybe Alabama has started their downfall. They look beatable. They're swapping quarterbacks. Who's going to be their quarterback?
But you forget media. Why do you fall for the same mistake? Do not count out
Nick Saban. Do not count out Nick Saban and Alabama. He's the best modern coach that we've had in college football. He can take 12 players out of the crowd.
Me and quarterback and win 11 games.
Oh, we can go in there. Yeah, we'd get to the SEC championship. Might not win it, but we could get there. They beat Kentucky by 28. They doubled them up 49-21.
That was a beatdown.
That was a pretty bad beatdown, yeah. But Alabama, to all kidding aside, Alabama is clicking on all cylinders right now.
Georgia better watch out because
Milroe went from being benched to be a Heisman top 10 now.
There must be something up there.
No, it's something in the water. I don't know what it is. Let's jump on down to we'll cover the top 15. Miami, Florida State.
That's a rival.
That's a rivalry game.
That's normally close when you got rival games.
Mm-hmm. Florida State still looking good, still 10-0. They won by 7. They were favored by 15.5. That's the only thing. They did cover the spread, but Miami, that's a rivalry game. Miami's not a bad team. They just got a coach that makes questionable decisions sometimes.
Let's just say very
questionable decisions sometimes. But they've got some talent. They've got a pretty good team. And Florida State, that was really a trap game really, for because it's a rival game. But Florida State did come out on top 27-20. One of the top. We didn't have a whole lot of ranked matchups this week. Just a handful of them. But Utah at Washington
Was another close one.
was another close one.
It's amazing with all these injuries that Utah is still competing.
Utah, I think that head coach there,
Kyle Whittingham?
Kyle Whittingham, he's been there for
Forever.
He's been the head coach of Utah since 1932 or something. I don't know. But he's been the head coach for forever, and but Washington's just got a lot. They got a lot of
Offensive power.
offense, a lot of speed. It reminds me a little bit of Tennessee's offense last year. They got a lot of speed, and
I haven't told
they just
Dad
outrun you.
that Washington has pretty much the Pac-12 version of Heupel's offense.
They do. They've got a lot of speed, and they're using that speed. And Penix.
Is one of my favorites to watch.
He
He's a
is
Heisman candidate.
He is
Hello.
he might be between him and Nix and McDaniels is jumping up for LSU. There's some pretty good quarterbacks out there. We had Oklahoma State at UCF.
What in the world
What
happened?
Oklahoma State was flexing. They were rushing up the seam, going into
And
the top
then
15.
you just get absolutely hammered.
45-3. What happened?
What did Mike Gundy tell those players?
They were 7-2 and going to a 4-win team.
And they just get hammered.
They got
brutalized.
doors beat off of them. Yeah, 45 to. When you lose by 42, you didn't show up.
They hadn't a clue what they were doing.
No, that's the
most confusing game I've seen out of the lot.
Yeah, me too. And Tennessee not showing up to Missouri is one thing, but
Oklahoma State
to lose by 42
to the UCF
to a 4-win team. That was pretty bad. That was the beatdown of the week. We had Stanford at Oregon State for another beatdown. Stanford's really, really bad this year. You can't blame Stanford for losing 62-17.
But the Beavers are underrated.
They are. I think the Beavers are a really, really good team this year. Should be probably a New Year's Six bowl game, really. They do look good. And you beat somebody by 45. What was supposed to be the game of the week, the top 10. Number 9, Ole Miss at number 2, Georgia.
Man, they just give that dog a bone.
Georgia decided they wanted to play. I told you they get up for good teams and they go down. It's almost like the Cowboys, except the Cowboys lose.
And the Bulldogs
Georgia finds a way to win. But 52-17 against a top 10 team.
I want to give credit to the ringleader behind this Georgia Renaissance.
Kirby
Smart,
man. What, the 26 in a row now they've won, or 27?
26 straight football games. They haven't lost in almost 2 years.
And that's with a SEC schedule.
That's
beating
impressive.
the number 9 team by 35 points.
That is. I'm going to give him credit. He's impressive in some of these games.
I am not an Alabama fan by no means. I am not a Georgia fan by no means. But I'm looking forward to that SEC championship game. A hot dog, man. Both of these teams are peaking right now. How good is this going to be as far as a football fan goes? Just watching a game. Now, I hope both loses. But
that can't be possible.
But as far as watching a good quality football game, it's going to be fantastic. We had Michigan State basketball team taking on the Ohio State football team. Now, Michigan State's bad this year. They've had a lot of turmoil, a lot of firings, a lot of ifs, ands, buts.
And Ohio State put up 38.
And Ohio State put up 38 on them. And again, Ohio State's offense just doesn't look good.
It's lethargic.
It is lethargic. But their defense is really good. And that's all it takes. Plus, Michigan State's terrible. Michigan State's really, 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 really bad this year. We had Texas TCU.
Texas scraping by the skin of their teeth.
29-26. That is really close. And what's the turmoil in Texas this week?
Arch Manning.
Ewers said, you know what? I think I'm going to come back next year.
What a problem that is.
How would you like to have that problem? You've got Texas's current quarterback, Ewers, is really good. He's a good quarterback. You can't say that he's not a good quarterback. But you've got Arch Manning, the Manning blood, sitting
in there waiting
in the curtains and thinking that he was going to be the starter next year. It will be his sophomore year. He's had a year sitting there to learn, to watch. So, and now all of a sudden, your really good starting quarterback says, you know what, I think I'm going to come back next year.
And Arch Manning
is sitting on the. So is Arch Manning going to sit another year on the bench?
Or is he going to go elsewhere?
Or, is the portal going to open? That's
some Texas hot, some Lone Star mayhem.
That I would not want to be in that situation. Do you root for your star quarterback that's got you number 7 in the country, or do you root for your Manning sibling coming in next year? I would not want to be in that situation, but it's fun to watch from the outside. Lastly, we had USC at Oregon. Oregon won 36-27. USC continues to crumble
into pieces.
They've lost 4 games this year, and I think they've won 2 out of the last 3, or maybe even 3 in a row. Oregon again continues to look good. I still think Oregon might be the best talented team in the Pac-12, soon to be Pac-2, soon to be Big Ten, wherever they're going. I don't know. But Oregon is a fantastic looking team, and I would not want to pay. I know there's a bunch of probably top 4 teams that are hoping they don't sneak in the top 4.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. All right, let's jump into Week 12. We got some fresh new games coming on. We got number 1 Georgia. We'll go ahead and get it over with. At number 18, Tennessee dropping to 18, which is respectful. Number 1 Georgia.
Rivalry.
It's a rivalry game. Tennessee at home has looked 10 times better than they have on the road. But
I don't know how that's going to do against a Georgia.
Georgia beat Ole Miss by 35.
How does that get me any encouragement?
It is in Georgia. It was in Georgia, which makes a difference because Georgia is a better home team too. Everybody's a better home team. But the line's 10. Is Georgia going to beat Tennessee by 10? You got to think yes. I mean, I'm hoping that Tennessee finds a way to win because
Dolly Parton's going there.
Dolly Parton, the Queen. Parton. She's going to be there. The Queen is going to be there to watch Tennessee lose by 15 or 20. I don't know. I hope Tennessee can cover the spread. I hope they make it competitive. I hope it's a 33-30 game at the worst, and we can squeak it down to 3 points or something. But Georgia really doesn't like Tennessee.
And Tennessee really doesn't like Georgia
either.
It's a good rivalry.
It's a good rivalry game.
I mean, Georgia and Tennessee fans always talk trash to each other when they meet up. It's kind of like Florida and Alabama.
Yeah, if Georgia's playing Vanderbilt, they'll beat them by 8 points because they don't really care. Against Tennessee, they're going to try to beat us by 40 because we don't like each other. So
just honestly, like they do Florida, just like they do Alabama.
I would probably
like they do Georgia Tech.
I would probably have to take Georgia minus 10. Honestly, the way Georgia's been rolling lately and Tennessee sputtering, plus Tennessee did have some pretty bad injuries. They lost a few players for the rest of the year. The last game too. We got number 3 Michigan at Maryland.
Even without Harbaugh, I think Michigan rolls.
I think they do too. Michigan's favored by 19, and I think they actually cover that. Michigan, again, is a fantastic offense. Their defense sometimes, but their offense is fantastic. And I don't know if not having Harbaugh on the side is going to make that big of a difference because he's still the head coach through the week. There's still an offensive coordinator there to handle things. So I still think Michigan carries it on. Now, when you get down to the last game of the year that we're going to talk about next week, that might be a little something different. We got Alabama taking on the Mocs.
I know someone personally that goes to the University of Chattanooga.
University of Chattanooga it's a good school. They got a good team, good club, good baseball team club. But Alabama's going to beat the doors off of them.
I don't think they'll take any offense to that statement.
No.
They expect to
Alabama. Lose. Alabama's beating the crap out of everybody right now, and and this is in Alabama.
And man, Alabama, is there any tougher place to go and play football?
Unless you're Auburn, no. Auburn's like, okay, this is home. But, no, it's going to be I don't think there's even a line on it. It's so bad. But Alabama's going to win this one big. We got Louisville, Miami. This is going
a good game.
This is going to be a pick 'em game for me. Louisville should win. They're on the road. They got the talent. They're top 10. They're number 10 in the country right now.
But Miami is at home.
Miami's at home, and Miami is not a bad team.
They're just sometimes coached improperly.
They're 6-4, and honestly should be 7-3. One stupid play call cost them from being 7-3. They're not a bad team. Louisville still should. Do you think Louisville should win it?
In my gut, I think I'm sensing a little of suspicion here. I might pick Miami.
I think I'm going to pick the upset too. I think Miami might actually win this. Miami is due. They played Florida State really good, which is an undefeated team.
I feel like it's a good pick.
I think Miami should actually win this one straight up. It's just a 1-point spread on it. We got Rutgers at Penn State.
Big game, James. I know it's not a big game,
No,
but
he'll beat Rutgers. Rutgers is bowl eligible. 6-4.
Congratulations
Congratulations
to the Rutgers.
to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. But Penn State should win this one handily. We got University of Louisiana Monroe 2-8. Excuse me, at Ole Miss. This is probably the beatdown of the week.
Yeah, I think this is a good game for the Rebels to lick their wounds after last week.
Yeah, they got the crap beat out of them last week, and they're favored by 37.5. Ow. Of course,
I might pick that.
I'll probably pick that because
this is Lane Kiffin.
And Monroe is a 2-win team.
Yeah.
We got number 14, Oklahoma at BYU. This should actually be a fun game to watch, but Oklahoma should win it.
Yeah, pretty handily.
Yeah, they'll probably win it by, I would say, 4 scores. We got our next one is Minnesota at Ohio State.
Yeah, that's a very tough opponent.
Yeah,
just saying that.
Minnesota's having honestly, the Big Ten's having a down year too. There's a lot of your bigger conferences that are having down years. The SEC looked down the first 4 or 5 weeks, and now they look like a juggernaut again. Like nobody's going to touch either one of them. Alabama or Georgia could probably beat anybody else in the country right now, the way that it's looking.
What do you expect? They're 2 powers.
They are powers. But yeah, Minnesota's having a down year. They're 5-5. Ohio State should win pretty handily. They got the line at 27.5 on this one too. I still don't think Ohio State can score the points that they need to. Offense, Minnesota doesn't have a bad offense. They put up 27 on Michigan State, put up 26 on Illinois, put up 30
I'm not picking that line
Purdue.
because I don't trust the offense.
I don't trust the Ohio State offense, so I probably would stick with Minnesota plus 27.5 on that one. We got Oregon, Arizona State. Whatever the line is, I'm taking Oregon.
There's 23.5.
I'll take that. Arizona State is not very good. This is not Arizona. This is Arizona State. Arizona State's not very good this year. They're a 3-win team, so I'm taking me some Oregon on that one, definitely. We got North Alabama, not Alabama.
That would have been a really good game.
Not South Alabama, not West Alabama, but North Alabama. We got North Alabama, Florida State. It's so bad it's on the CW Children's Network.
There's going to be so bad that it's not going to be broadcasted.
North Alabama is not only a small school; they're a 3-win small school.
Florida State. Imagine how bad that.
This
game
may
is.
be 60-something to 10. I mean, it's going to be ugly. This is one of my favorite games of the week too. This will be a huge test. Washington, number 5, at number 11, Oregon State. This is going to be good.
This is going to be good. It's the primetime game, and
Prime
it's a good
time,
game.
7:30. 10-0 Washington at 8-2 Oregon State, and Oregon State is clicking right now.
And Washington's got that offense.
And Washington's got that powerful super offense.
But I've got a bit of a Uno reverse on my prediction.
What's that?
I've got the dam builders and Oregon State winning the game.
I think they probably. I got the same feeling.
I've got that feeling about the Beavers.
Washington started out the year sort of gangbusters, but the last 3 games their offense has struggled a tad bit, and I don't know why. But and Oregon State is I think we might have a top 6 shake-up upset here. I think
time to shake the norm.
Time to shake it up. Let's go mighty Beavers. We got Texas, Iowa State. Again, Iowa State's not a bad team this year, but
they're not great either.
But they're not great. I would take me some Texas there. Yeah. And our last top 15 matchup: Georgia State at LSU. This is going to be ugly too. Line's 32. I think that's pretty good too.
What did Jaden Daniels do last week to Florida?
Yeah, how many yards was it?
373 yards passing, 233 yards rushing.
So he had 600 yards of total offense.
But we also forget one game also. Florida at number 9 Missouri. They went up to number 9.
Oh, yeah. I skipped that one, didn't I? I skipped Florida at Missouri. I don't like Florida, and I'm mad at Missouri. So
Well, what do you expect when your team loses?
Missouri should win this one handily, honestly. Missouri, can't say anything about it. They're a good team.
They're a really good team.
They're
They
really
played
good.
Georgia tough. They beat a lot of the ranked
They've only
opponents.
lost 2 games.
And that was-
LSU.
And Georgia. They're both in the
Georgia.
top 15.
But, I mean, the only 2 games they've lost is top 15 wins.
That's a good
So-
resume they've got. I really like what I've seen from Missouri from a football fan perspective.
Missouri's favored by 11. I think they beat Florida by more than 11 too. All right, now that's our last one. That's our last one. We recapped week 11, got our picks for week 12. Thanks again for checking in with us for some college football. It's always fun. Just shooting the breeze. Thanks for stopping in with us. Thanks again for Severe TV for setting us up here. SevereTV.com. Thanks for Autographs Plus again for throwing us a couple of helmets out here. Be sure and check them out. It's Christmas time's coming. And
Don't forget Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving's first, but Christmas is going to sneak up on
Yep.
us. We're going to turn around. It's going to be Christmas time. Be sure to check in with us again for next week for some more college football.
See you next week.